Yo, 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 it's Sloshy Joshy back with another YouTube video. And today we're going over the must adds of week one. Um, congrats, we made it to football. Week one is here. I know you guys are finishing up your fantasy draft. You probably already have. So I'm going to go over the leftovers, right? The guys who should maybe be stashing with the late round pick, or not a late round pick, sorry. If you have a bench spot that you don't really care about moving in or out, I think that these are guys worth adding right now. So I'm going to do this every week. And as you can see, the first guy on the board, I talked about this guy in my mock drafts quite a bit, but it's gonna be Jaden Blue. So um, he was actually cleared off the injury report today, so great news there. Um, and dude, I don't know. I talked about this a lot. He's super fast, 4.38, good in the passing game. Um, Javonte Williams, Miles Sanders, and Deuce Vaughn is the backfield. And I just think that this guy's gonna out talent them. He's just better than all three of them. I'm not a big Javonte Williams fan, not a big Sanders fan. I think he's just gonna get the the percentage. So, um, the percentage of snaps eventually. Now, maybe a couple weeks from now, probably wouldn't start him Thursday against the Eagles. But just stash him on the bench. I think it's a good ad. So available in 37, or wait, no, sorry, he's rostered in 37% of leagues. So he is available in 63% of leagues, and this is according to Yahoo. I know it's going to vary per website, but if he's a free agent, definitely want to stash him. I actually have him on my team in this league. So all right, number two. Up next, we have Roshan Johnson. So he does have a little bit of a foot injury going on here, um, which I don't love, obviously. But I do think like Ben Johnson's in town, right? He's not just going to use DeAndre Swift. We saw him use Gibbs and David Montgomery very effectively. Both running backs had very good fantasy years, very good years, initially. There was a stat. Let me see if I can. But anyway, I think um, DeAndre Swift's gonna be that shiftier pass catcher. He'll have that Gibbs role, but that number two spot is up for grabs, and I do think Roshan Johnson will start there with that role. Um, let's look at this. I don't know if you guys can see this, but it says rushing attempts 55. So he got 55 carries last year and 6 touchdowns on 55 carries. So they like him in the red zone. He's going to be that Montgomery style back in Ben Johnson's offense. I really like picking him up. He's available in 93% of leagues right now. So if you have a bench spot, you're willing to stash this guy for a little, and see what happens. I think it's definitely worth it. Another guy we could be talking about, if this guy ends up beating him out in that competition, definitely like this guy later too. He's a rookie they brought in. Um, but one of those two guys is going to take the RB2 spot. And we know Ben Johnson, likes to use more than one running back. So, uh, Roshan Johnson is the second must add of the week. All right, moving on to wide receiver. This is a guy like 49% rostered, so only available in 51% of leagues, but still that's over half. So I felt like adding him in here. If he is available, I think you guys should go get him. Stash him on the bench for now, just to see what kind of his role unravels like in LA. Has the chemistry with Herbert. They played together from 2020 to 2023. He is 33. I'm not expecting like monster numbers from Keenan Allen, but um, bringing that safety net back in for Herbert, just some guy that he can rely on getting 5 to 10 yard chunks down the field. I think Keenan Allen's going to get that role, and I do think that he'll get some work. I mean, there's not many, other than Lab McConkey, there's not much on the depth chart to worry about. There's Quentin Johnson, who's I don't know how he's on the roster. Dude drops more balls than catches. And then Trey Harris is an exciting rookie, so we'll see what happens there. But I do think Keenan Allen's going to carve himself up some work in the passing game. So, like stashing him late for sure. All right, coming up next we have Christian Kirk. I do like Christian Kirk again. This one is rostered in 42% of leagues, so he's available in 58. So not he's not going to be available in all the leagues, but I did want to throw him in there. I do think he's going to be a great um, addition for CJ Stroud. Obviously Nico Collins is the number one there, but Tank Dell is going to be out all year. They bring in a couple rookies, so Jaden Higgins and Jalen Noel. But Kirk's going to be that good veteran presence. This guy is a PPR demon, if you remember. I mean, the guy just catches balls. So I do think he's going to get some work in Houston's offense early. Now we'll have to see how those rookies play this year. See his long-term effect. But I think short-term, the first few weeks, CJ Stroud's gonna rely on him pretty often. I think so. I like adding Christian Kirk if he's available in your league for sure. All right, last wide receiver of the week. So this one, only 9% rostered, so 91% available. A lot of buzz around this guy, getting some work. Jacoby Myers requested trade. If Myers leaves, I would add this guy immediately, because he's gonna get that work. He's 6'5", and he ran a 4.3 flat 40. So I mean, just like what you want in a wide receiver, pretty much, right? He's the prototype. Now, will it transfer? Let's see. They have Brock Bowers and Myers, but I do think he's going to get some role. Even if it's deep threat balls, 2 3 catches a game for long plays, long touchdowns. That'll work for a deep bench guy. So if you have someone expendable on your bench, you don't really care, and you want to take a flyer, you want to try to invest for the next few weeks. I think Dante Thornton Jr. is a great ad right now. All right, and last but not least, this one's more of an honorable mention. I would definitely prioritize the first five guys I went over. But Mason Taylor at tight end is very interesting to me. He's a very high drafted tight end, 42nd overall, second round draft pick. He has no competition on the roster. I mean, there's Stone Smart and Jeremy Ruckert. Or is his competition. So I mean, he's gonna be on the field. Um, I would probably say 80 to 90% of the time. Um, Now it depends on if you believe in Fields and all that. If he can get him the ball, um, I do think that Fields likes his tight ends, which again just kind of boosts Mason Taylor. So um, I like this guy too. If you're kind of weak at tight end, definitely like adding this guy as a backup for now and just kind of seeing what happens because I do think he's going to have a bigger role in the offense than people think. I mean, if you look at their offense overall, they have good running backs in Brees Hall and Braylon Allen, but once you get past Garrett Wilson, I mean, there's not much going for him in the pass game. So I think Mason Taylor carves out a pretty big role early, and I like adding him late. So that was it. Yeah, thank you very much for watching. I'm going to be doing this weekly, and then I'm going to have some starts and sits um, coming out here soon. So um, leave a like, comment, let me know if I missed anyone or who you're targeting this week one. And happy football season. Let's get it, boys.